Once we have a dog that understands kind of the game, as soon as we're hitting that button, you are the queen of tangle here, dear. What the heck is going on?
She's like, I turned it into a harness.
Yeah, good golly. Good night, sister. Okay. Hey everybody, Ethan here with Standing Stone, and this is Shock. If you watched our last video, you saw a little bit of why we are here today, and that is going to be collar conditioning. This video is all about working on recall and building a more consistent understanding of that. We're going to start, like we do all of our sessions, with building some momentum, and typically we would say, let's set yourself up in a very controlled environment. This is probably slightly less controlled, but she does a pretty good job with cooperation, working for us, except for when it comes to that retrieving thing. Then she wants to play keep away, okay? So we're gonna get started. I have a check cord on her. These are the check cords that we have on our website. They are a very nice material. They don't tangle up, they don't knot up, and she's going to be dragging this. You can see it's a smidge of a distraction. She's playing with it a little bit. She's having fun, sniffing around. If you have young puppies that start to roll into that independent state, right? It's like stuff super easy. We get stuff all the time. People are like, my dog is 10 weeks old and it knows how to do this and 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 this, and they're perfect at all of it. I'm like, yeah, give that a couple more weeks. Then you're gonna see some of that independence and that maybe essentially even boredom with that type of training because you've done so much, and we're going to have to move into other things. We have her, we're gonna warm her up. I've got her food and my clicker, and I've got a hold of this leash. If she's staying really focused, I could drop it, but at this point, I'm gonna hold on to it. We're just gonna be working on targeting. Hey, 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 hey. Right there, okay? That's why I've got this. She spotted something on the ground. She was gonna run off that way. I wanna keep her focus here. This is essentially creating my controlled environment, if you will. Shock, targeting, good dog. None of this jumping stuff. We just wait on it a second. Now you're behaving, there's your food, good. Good girl. You can see super focused here, right? So this is why I feel confident to work on her collar conditioning to recall. Good. Good. This is why I feel confident to work on her collar conditioning to recall outside, okay? Now, I want to draw attention to this. This is a common mistake that we see. This would be considered tethering or ground staking or something to that extent, whatever words you want to use. This is a really good way to stop dogs from jumping up at you, right? I've given her just enough leash to stand there. She tries to jump. My foot holds her to the ground, okay?
So she essentially corrects herself.
Yeah, she's correcting herself. She gets that leash correction on her collar as she's jumping up at me. We see this, people utilize our targeting, right? Our targeting. I didn't invent that, we just utilize it. This movement, white hand, that's the key to that. They're seeing this. You can move it around a little bit. Hey, hey, hey. Get their attention. We've got predators we're working with, so they see movement. They like to chase movement. They like to pay attention to that. Good girl. Now, the thing that we see from folks is when they start collar conditioning, they move into, they start overlaying vibrate, and then they're waiting for that dog to come touch their hand. The touching of the hand portion is there to develop a behavior. Get used to, have something to work toward, and it's something we can specifically mark every time. When we move into collar conditioning, the end goal is to learn to shut the collar off by coming to us. So I'm not as worried at this point of the dog actually touching our hand. We utilize that for warm-up. You can still put it down, but when your puppy gets close enough to you to get your hands on them, as soon as you touch them, that shuts off the collar. And that's gonna be a lot more consistent and easier to maintain and easier to help your puppy through. So we're gonna do a couple more reps here. We're gonna move right into collar conditioning. You see how I move away from her? It kind of draws her into my space. She's also very focused because we're doing a session. A lot of your puppies are going to be the same way. They learn training sessions are a good time to pay attention to mom and dad, right? Good. Now let's grab this e-collar here. I'm using DT Systems H2O 1820. It comes with a lanyard. I personally I switched it out for a clip so that I can put it here. It keeps it from dangling around my neck, hitting the puppy in the face when I bend over. If that's something you're struggling with, maybe try adding a clip to your transmitter. Now, I will throw one caveat out there, folks. You add a clip to it, it's too heavy, it will not float anymore. I learned that one the hard way, okay? Now, you found a clicker. Good job. We'll get this bad boy out of the way. If your puppy will still eat food during the collar conditioning process, keep feeding them. It's excellent. If they're too distracted by collar conditioning, once you move into that, stop feeding them. It doesn't matter as much. Good. You are a mouthy little puppy. She's really starting to grow out of that. How did we work on it? Basic, oh, hush now. Basic corrections when she's doing things wrong. That, she got her lip in her teeth. That was not intentional, okay? But at the same time, we don't want to coddle the situation either. I just say, hey, get over it. You're not going to die, okay? Otherwise, that can become a go-to avoidance technique for her down the road. These dogs are smart. Working dogs are smart. They learn how to get what they want when they want it. Okay. Now,
quick mention, proper placement of the collar.
Yeah, I was showing that here, and then I got distracted by her trying to bite my hands. When you put your collar on, there's 3 things we're going to work on here. 1 is tightness, 2 is position on their neck, and the 3rd is her manners during this process. I've stepped on my leash again so she can't jump up or really run anywhere. We want this to be up in the smallest part of her neck because their necks actually taper. They're smaller at the top, at the base of their head, and then they get wider as they go down. If you put it on down here, then it's going to be flopping around as she runs, and it won't hold the contacts tight. It won't be beneficial. It won't be consistent. That's a very important part of utilizing collar is consistency. Now that we're up here, I've got 3 fingers underneath the collar. I'm cinching it down about as tight as I can go and then backing it off one hole. If your puppy is hacking or coughing or their tongue turns blue, folks, it's too tight, okay? Back it off a little bit. But you need to err on that side of borderline too tight, not borderline too loose, because borderline too loose is going to be inconsistent. You're going to have problems. The thing that we want to make sure is if your puppy's jumping around and fighting and thrashing, take the time. It may take you 5 minutes to put on an e-collar, okay? Take the time now. It's only going to get faster and easier, and then you're going to have a dog that stands respectfully and is comfortable, and it allows you to put the collar on, and it's not this giant battle. Ha! There you go. Be free, wild one, okay? So our collar is fitted. I've checked. It's on. I'm going to do a quick test. It works. We have all the things. Now, I am going to unclip this from my belt so that I can give you a visual. If you are training, it is not a requirement. This thing doesn't get tangled up until you have the wild thing attached to it. There's definitely no knots in it, just 1,000 twists. Good job, babe. I am going to hold it up as best as I can to show you when I'm utilizing the collar. You don't need to do this for your collar to work. You can just hold it in your hand, okay? The timing here is very important. We're going to turn on the collar. Then I'm going to talk to her. Hey, shock, here. Then when she gets to me, the collar's going to shut off. If she tries to go anywhere else, I have a hold of her. That's going to allow her to finish every rep. Now, this is negative reinforcement. It's reinforcement-based training. This goes away, the collar pressure, which we're utilizing vibrate, it goes away when she complies, okay? If she does something else, for example, avoids, or if you're doing this inside and the dog hides under the coffee table and you shut the collar off, you've just reinforced hiding under the coffee table. Reinforcement-based training is very powerful, and in a few short reps, you're going to develop a very strong behavior. That can be a good behavior or a bad one. So make sure that you're prepared and you feel confident with what the steps are. Vibrate on, get the dog to come to us, vibrate off. She's ready to do something, folks. Okay. All right, vibrate is on. Hey, 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 hey. Good. As soon as she got to me, it shut off. I put a very similar type of movement into what I was doing. You couldn't even hardly tell that she was feeling vibrate. This is the sign of a mentally stable, bold, confident dog that is prepared for this via everything else we've done thus far. That was the first collar conditioning rep that she has felt in her entire life. Okay? Let's do another one. Vibrates on. Hey, 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 hey. Good. Hey, hey. There's a little head shake. She's feeling it. Good. No, 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 no. Come here. Good. Vibrate was on the entire time. She kind of shot past me a couple times, running in her little drive-by play mode. That's one of the things she's been doing a lot, which is why we're moving to this. As soon as she got to me, it shuts off. Now, don't make this a drive-by situation. Hold on to her collar, pet her a little bit, reward her for standing, behaving herself, good girl. Okay, send her on to go play. She saw something over here. Again, why I have this check cord on her. She's like, this check cord, it's totally messing with my vibes today. Vibrate is on. Hey, 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 shock. Hey, hey, hey. Moving away from her to kind of get her movement. We're tangled on your back leg. Quit that. Come on. Vibrate still on, folks. Hey, 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 hey. Whoa, baby. Whoa, baby. Hey, 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 hey. Good girl. Okay, I'm going to see if she wants to eat some of these food rewards. Good. And see if we can, she said, heck yeah, I want to eat that stuff. See if we can pull a little more focus here. I'm going to allow her to lose focus on me for a second. Vibrate turns back on. Good. More directly to me, and then here is your crunchies. Woo woo! Excited for that. Yeah. Shock's a superpower. These are like Scooby snacks, right? All right, vibrates on. Hey, 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 hey. Good. The second I hit that vibrate button, she turned around. She is very, very smart, and this is going well because we've set all of the groundwork up. We can't just start here day one and think we're magically going to get there. We've taught her these behaviors. We've generalized the training. We've done it in different areas. We've included Aiden, part of our family, into the training sessions. We've put a lot of time and effort into this, and we have a mentally stable pup that's ready for it. Good. She says, I'm focused on you now. All right, vibrates on. Here. Good girl. You ready for that treat? So once you have a puppy that is really good and kind of sticky to you, find a friend, find a kid, find a neighbor, find a spouse, whatever, that can help you. You can call the dog back and forth between you. One person runs the collar the whole time, and your timing needs to be good still, so be paying attention. All right, go ahead.
Shock. Shock. Shock.
Movement toward the other person can help. Good. She put that target down there and then hands on the dog, right? Hey, 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 shock. Good. Good girl. She's figuring this out pretty quick.
Shock.
Vibrates on.
Shock.
Golly. Good. Shuts off as soon as she got to Kat. Hey. Shock. Here. Good girl. That's excellent. Nice job. Good.
Shock. Here.
Good. Let's get another one back this way. Shock. Hey, hey, hey. Here. Good girl. I think we're going to do 1 or 2 more reps, and then we're going to call this a session. Now, this does not mean that she is collar conditioned to recall. It means that she has a good start, a good first session, and a foundation to move forward. It's called collar conditioning because it takes conditioning.
Shock. Here.
Good girl. All right, one more back this way. Shock. Here. Good girl.
So that almost looked like she was anticipating, and we can
Yeah, so one thing that puppies are going to learn, especially smart ones, is they're going to learn to anticipate the behavior. She calls her, I call her, back and forth, and the puppy just starts running back and forth between you. So this is where we can give it 1 second, let her kind of mill around, figure out what she wants to do.
Shock here.
So that gives us the indication that there was no anticipation in there. She was just waiting. Now let's watch. She comes back to me.
Shock here.
Good. Running the collar. Each time we're calling, she's feeling that vibrate until she gets to the person. Now she's standing there. We're going to do... Good. She's standing there now. We're going to do one more back that way.
Shock here.
All right. So that right there says 100% she's focused on the behavior. She's feeling the collar. We're overlaying it. We're starting to condition that the collar works for recall. Folks, that is all we have got time for today. We're going to call that a wrap on her first session, and I'm going to put that in the books as a complete success. If your sessions don't look like this, folks, don't feel bad. Just reach out to us at patreon.com/Standing Stone Kennels, where we're set up to help you watch your sessions, even set up a video chat where we could watch this whole thing you're doing and say, that looks good, don't do that. We'd love to be able to help you. This is Shock. I'm the guy with the pink gun, and we'll see you in the next video.